So if you're spending $100 on fertilizer, $100 on pesticides and fungicides, about $300 or $400 on compost, filler dirt, and then a couple more $100 just on plants, you've already lost. You have lost. Because if that's just for you to eat, it would be cheaper for you to go to the grocery store. And I'm being really honest, and it should not be that way. That's what I'm telling you. They've got you guys in a mental state where you have to spend money to grow food. Like they, rather than teach you how to garden, rather than teach you how to make it yourself with what you have in your hands and think outside the box, they have conditioned you to believe to grow food, you must spend money. I actually have people push back against me on this very topic. It is so offensive to them that it costs me almost nothing to grow this food because they spent so much to grow theirs that rather than learn the concepts I'm trying to teach them, they would rather just keep spending money on that credit card. Are you on top of the watermelon, sassy mama? Must be a mouse. She's so good at mousing. She's just got a perch, checking out, making sure nothing's on mom's fruits and vegetables. Hello everyone, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So I'm out here super early to beat this heat. I'm located in Zone 9A, 9B in Southeast Louisiana. And I want to talk to you about how much should it cost to grow a garden. Well, I grew a 1/4 acre market garden this year. I produced more than 1,000 pounds of food, and I have about 2.5 more months of grow season. So I am believing I'm going to hit 2,000 pounds of food out of this 1/4 acre market garden. And you guys want to know how much it cost me to grow it? Are you ready? Put your coffee down. Put both hands on the wheel. You may actually wreck when you hear this. $100. $100 for over 1,000 pounds of food. Now I know there are some of you right now, you're gonna turn it off. You're gonna be like, nope, no way, she's lying. No, I'm telling you the truth. Go back out and check all our other videos out, guys. First things first, I don't purchase inputs. A 1/4 acre is a lot of square footage. A lot of square footage. A lot. I do not purchase fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, compost, worm castings, filler dirt. I don't purchase bag potting soil. I don't purchase any of it. If I cannot make it myself, I figure out another way to do it. Now, that's the kicker, right? That is the truth. People want to know how much should it cost to grow a garden. Stay out of the gardening stores to begin with. You can't go into places like Clegg's and nurseries like that, guys, when you're first starting, especially when you're first starting, because they're literally going to hand you 1,000 different things and tell you, you need this to grow this. You do not. Start with a wheelbarrow, a shovel, a rake, a hoe. That's what you start with. We do not till. So I paid for no tiller, no machinery whatsoever. The machinery is myself and my husband. So we have no machinery. So I'm not putting out any carbon at all. I have a 0 carbon footprint. In fact, the way that I farm absorbs carbon from the air. So I'm actually sequestering carbon in my garden, okay? So it's like a cycle. And I tell people this all the time. If you spent so much money that one tomato coming out of your garden cost you a couple of dollars, you are gardening incorrectly. Okay, you're gardening the way that people tell you that you should garden, not the way you actually should garden. And that's what this video is about today. If you want to know how to grow over 1,000 pounds of food for less than $100, keep watching. Now, the first way you keep your money in your pocket when you're going to garden, guys, is to know exactly what you want to plant. Like I said, don't go into Clegg's, don't go into nurseries with the idea of, I'm gonna plant a garden, but you don't know what exactly you're going to plant. Because here's what's gonna happen, because I've done it so many times. Everything looks amazing. You're gonna take it all home with you. not realizing that probably half of what you purchased is not the right season, or it's not going to grow in your soil, or it's not right for your environment. So the first thing you're going to do today, you're going to sit down, you're going to say, what do I want to put in my garden? And then you're going to write those things down, and you're going to research each and every one of them, okay? You're going to find out what family they are in, what type of soil pH they prefer, how long does it take them from the time that you seed them or you transplant them until you can harvest. Do you have enough time to do that before the first frost comes in? How hot can they take it? Are they drought resilient? What type of pest affect them? What plants can they not be planted beside? Okay, that's very important. Once you've done that, then you sit down and you decide, am I going to buy seeds and direct seed into my soil, start seeds in a cup, or am I going to purchase transplants? That right there, that second step is going to determine how much money you're fixing to spend, because it is the seeds and the plants that will cost you the most in the end. Now, once you've decided how you're going to move, down number 2 is going to be how much you're going to come out of pocket. Now, if you're actually spending a ton of money on compost, worm castings, biochar, all of that stuff, soil for your beds, you need to stop. Stop. You can make it all on your property or in your house for almost nothing using leftover waste products. That's the beauty of it, guys. That's the truth of it. You can actually take materials that would go to a landfill, convert them into another product that will feed your soil in such a way you're not worried about purchasing triple 13. I wouldn't even know what that cost. If I need a nitrogen boost, I could get some rabbit urine. I raise rabbits for food, and I use their manure. Their manure grew a 1/4 acre market garden. Their manure. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, then see, you actually spent more money than $100. Actually, I did it because my rabbits pay for themselves. I feed them from the garden, so I almost never have to buy feed for them. I've got them on a schedule that I breed and sell enough rabbits that they're totally paid for, all their equipment paid for. So their manure is technically free for me because I have set up systems to support systems to keep my bottom dollar down. So some of you are going to tell me, okay, I can't have livestock. I can't have chickens. I can't have rabbits. But Sam, I spent like $300 on compost and filler dirt and worm castings. Stop buying from big box stores. What you're purchasing is a lie. If you're buying things like black cow manure or you're buying a compost, it is not the product in your mind that you think that you're getting. What you're looking for is a biological product like your grandfather used, right? Like your daddy used. Something that when you put the seed in, it absolutely explodes with life. Guys, you are never going to get that from a product in a big box store. And there's a couple of reasons why. 1, they use the most awful materials, the least expensive, least nutritional materials that they can get. 2, you don't know what process they're using to get the end product. What I mean is, if you go to someone that makes compost, they're usually going to be very excited about how they make their compost. And they're going to be like, come look how I make my compost. And what you're going to see is compost that's living. It's going to have worms and beetles and things moving all through it. And they're going to be so excited about it. When you buy it in a bag, if there was life in that bag, well, it died for lack of oxygen a long time ago, including the good bacteria that you need for your soil. So buying products from a big box store is basically just buying dried organic matter that you could essentially get going into the woods with a bag and get some leaves. So it is literally a waste of your money. I don't care how cheap it is. It is a waste of your money. So now you've got soil and compost and worm castings that are just dried leaves and wood. That's all it is. There's no bacteria in it. There's no fungi in it. There's really no nutritional value in that. You put it in your bed, you put your plants in, and you are so excited, and my heart breaks for you because you're expecting what the bag shows. You're expecting what Grandpa got. He used compost, right? Why doesn't my garden look like Papa's garden? Because what you're using is a lie. So you need to find someone local to you, even if you have to drive an hour, it's well worth your money. And even if you can only afford 1 bag of worm castings, 1 bag of compost, get it. 1 bag of rabbit manure from someone that does not use antibiotics. Get it from them, guys. Take it and mix it into what you could afford. What you're going to see is a completely different garden, because the products that you're getting from the person local are fresh, they're alive, and they're full of biological agents, which you need in your soil, whether you're gardening in a raised bed or on direct soil. So when I tell people it only took me $100 to grow over 1,000 pounds of food, so far we're in August, I'm going to be growing until November, right, for my summer crops. And then I'm going to move into my fall crops. And all of that's going to be growing off of what I've already put into the garden, really. So when I say I spent $100, you know what I spent it on? A couple of plants and some seeds, because I'm still not the greatest at seed harvesting. I'm not. I'm slowly building up seeds every season from plants that did really well, plants that proved to be more, pest resilient to the one next to it. I would save seeds from the one that looked better at the end of the year, the one that grew more, the one that produced more food. I would keep seeds from that plant. I'm learning to dry them. Sometimes I am not successful and I put them back in the next year, nothing happens. But I'm going to learn those skills because I want my garden to cost me nothing. I work very hard to grow organic, nutrient-dense, regenerative agriculture, permaculture principled food. And I don't want it to cost me an arm and a leg. I just saw a clip from a guy that said, hey, if you're gonna start a market garden, in my opinion, you need $30,000. I fell over laughing. I started a market garden with $0 in the bank, no credit cards. The first year, I think I produced right at about 1,000 pounds. This year, I'm telling you guys, we're gonna exceed 2,000 pounds. Next year, I'm going for 5,000 pounds of food coming out of the same plot of soil I used last year and this year, feeding my soil the exact same way. Compost that I make in my chicken coop, okay? Worm castings I make here on the farm. Biochar I make here on the farm. Rabbit urine I collect here on the farm. And rabbit manure. Grew my entire garden. And that's great. If that's how you want to roll, go with it. Roll away. But I'm telling you guys, there's going to come a time that where nobody is going to be able to afford that kind of nonsense. It is best you learn how to do it now while you have a backup plan, which is your local grocery store and some money, okay? Be a really horrible situation to have to learn to grow food like this in an emergency situation, and you simply cannot understand how to grow food without a bag of Triple 13 and a bottle of Roundup. You're gonna be in trouble, all right? Plus, guys, do your research. Glyphosate is causing autism and Parkinson's disease. Quit using that crap. Just quit. It's terrible. And plus, I live in Louisiana, and everybody up north, that when you're spraying all that mess, it hits the Mississippi River. It dumps literally in my backyard. I'm tired of our crawfish and our clams and our oysters going to crap and basically being toxic. We can't even eat them anymore. So for the rest of us down here in the South, you guys up north, please stop using glyphosate. We would greatly appreciate it, since my state is literally like #1 in children cancer. I wonder why. So, God bless you. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Figure it out, guys. Join with us, row in our boat. We're not judging you. We are really honestly trying to help you. But if your tomato cost you a couple of dollars, you are not gardening correctly. Hit the subscribe button, ring your notification bell, jump in the boat with us. We're going to teach you how to grow your food without all that waste.